have a responsible teenager and you leave them home alone for the weekend, take care of the house, you come back and the whole place is trashed. You're like, what? Where was the adult supervision? So the more I started seeing what was going on with our country, the environment and education and all kinds of things like that, and healthcare especially was my big issue, I started thinking to myself, this is hopeless. I felt completely hopeless. There's no way we'll ever turn all these problems around. Never, ever, ever. And then somebody handed me this book. It is not the Bible. It is The Audacity of Hope by Mr. Barack Obama. Margins and I underlined everything, and I thought to myself, this guy could change it. He could really make a difference. And if he gets through the primaries, I'm voting for Barack Obama. Although I know he'll never win because he's black and his name is Barack Hussein Obama. Well, no way he can win, right? But then somebody came to me in the beginning of 2008 and invited me to come and make phone calls to get Barack Obama to be elected. And I went along, and then the rest is history because then I just never stopped. So I ran into a guy who was a really active campaigner in 2008, and then again in 2010. But then he started looking at blogs, and he going on websites and things like that, and he started feeling the way I was feeling. He started feeling really like hopeless, and there's just no matter who we elect, it's not going to change. There's no way that just common people, little people with no power, can ever make any big change, any real change in the government. And I just thought to myself, you know, tell that to the women in the early 1900s who got arrested and beaten and declared legally insane and committed to insane asylums because they wanted the right to vote. And tell that to the people who died, you know, in the civil rights movement. So what I think of the government and all of its problems and all of its stuck in the mud and all of its, you know, corruption is like a big brick on the scales. And here's us, and all we each only have one little bitty pebble put on there. You know, and you put a pebble on there and the brick doesn't even move one little bit. But if you put your pebble and you put your pebble and you put your pebble, more and more pebbles will pile up. Pretty soon we'll move the brick, right? Now I'm not a big sports fan, but my son goes to Penn State. Pause for applause. So we've been to a couple of football games, and that place holds like 50,000 people. More, 100,000 people. So you would look at that stadium, and it's packed. I mean, there wasn't an empty seat in the place, right? So you look at that stadium, and you think 100 or 200 people doing something in this stadium would make no difference. Nobody would even notice it. But 200 kids in the student section stand up for the wave. And then the next person sees it, and they stand up. And you watch 100,000 people perfectly orchestrated doing the wave. They stop, they wait their turn. Here comes my turn, here comes my turn. Okay, I did my small part, and I sat back down. But the whole thing is coordinated beautifully into 100,000 people doing the wave right in order. So that's what we're going to do. We got about 100 or 200 people here right now. We're going to start the wave, and everyone's going to watch us, and then they're going to take, you know, take their turn, and little by little, everyone's going to stand up right in time, and we're going to get Obama elected with this wave. Okay? All right.